Hi there, I'm Annelise Gray and I'm the author of a new book, Circus Maximus, Race to the Death, which is the story of a young girl called Dido who longs to be the first girl to race chariots at the Circus Maximus, which was the greatest sporting arena in ancient Rome. But Dido's life is thrown into terrible danger one night and she's forced to leave her home and everything that she loves. However, she doesn't give up on her dream, and the book follows her quest to become a charioteer and at the same time to stay one step ahead of the men trying to hunt her down. I'm going to read to you a bit from the first chapter of the book where we first meet Dido, and she's on a horse buying trip with her father Antonius, who is the head trainer for one of the big racing teams in Rome. And Dido has just won a chariot race against one of the boys from the stable that they're visiting, and she is trying to persuade her father that she should be allowed to claim her prize, which is a beautiful black horse to whom she has lost her heart. I ducked under the fence and climbed the slope to where the black horse was grazing. He lifted his head, watching me with nostrils flared, ears twitching. Slipping my hand into the pouch pocket of my old green tunic, I extracted a dusty handful of grain. Holding it on the tip of my fingers, I whispered and cooed as I shuffled forward. A squeal escaped the horse's throat, and he tossed his mane, dancing on the spot. I stopped a few paces short of his head, arms still outstretched, and made the same squealing noise he had made. The little black horse stared. Then he stretched out his nose, sniffing at the grain. Blowing softly, he took a few cautious steps towards me. His upper lip brushed against my palm, and he began snaffling the grain, tickling my fingers with his whiskers. He flinched slightly when I began stroking his cheek. "I don't believe it," I heard Marius say to Antonius. "Can she talk to horses, that girl of yours?" The fence creaked as someone climbed over it. The little horse's ears flattened against his skull. I tried to soothe him by combing his long mane with my fingers. Antonius stopped a short distance away. I knew what was coming. "Dido, we didn't come all this way to Hispania to buy an untrained horse." "We're not buying him. I won him." "I have my orders from Ruga. The Greens need to start winning races again. If we're to have any chance of beating the Blues, we need fully trained animals, horses that have experience of the local circuses." "I'll train him. You can help me. Please, Papa." "And what do I tell Ruga when he asks why I've wasted a place in the boat's cargo on a horse that has never run a race, a horse whose upkeep he'll have to pay for? Tell him he had too much promise to leave behind. Tell him what Marius said about his sire. Tell him..." I stopped. Even to my ears, it sounded unconvincing. I knew the master of the Green faction as well as my father did. Ruga was as tight-fisted as he was wealthy. Antonius held out his hand. The lump in my throat had swollen to the size of a stone. I buried my face in the horse's neck, breathing in his warm, sweet smell. Then I let my father take my hand and lead me back to the fence. Through my tears, I could see Terry's looking at me curiously. "Dido and I have a long journey ahead of us," said my father. "We should set off tonight if we're going to make it to Tarico in time for the morning boat. My thanks for your hospitality, Marius. Superb choice of horses, as always. I think Ruga will be especially pleased with those new chestnuts. You'll send them on?" "Of course, Antonius, my old friend. They'll be on the next transport over. I hope they help revive the Greens' fortunes." "I hope so too, or Ruga may start looking for another trainer." There was a pause. I felt my father's hand tighten on mine. "Out of interest, what would you take for the little black horse, Marius?" My eyes went to my father's face. What I saw there made my heart almost burst with love for him. Marius chuckled. "I'd say you're welcome to him, Antonius, and good luck to you if you think you can make anything of him. I won't take your money. You're too good a friend for me to cheat you. But the horse is Terry's to give." I looked at Terry's, who glanced in turn at the little black horse. I knew that he was wondering whether he was making a mistake in giving up something someone else wanted so badly. Then his teeth gleamed white. You earned him. Take him if you want him. He leaned forward and pointed to his cheek. Now, what do you say? I wavered. Then I planted a quick kiss on his brown jaw. The boys behind him cheered.